everybody, it's Amy Rich with amyrich.net. I am excited to share with you a unique idea using the artistic dies that coordinate with the artistically inked stamp set, as well as the tailor-made tag dies. So we're going to make a cool project that features products from this current 2022-2023 annual catalog, and the dies are sold in the single dies with no bundles. So here are the artistic dies on page 169, and then the tailor-made tag dies on 175. So let's have some fun. If you know the catalog well, you can see that I am using the HUES of Happiness designer series paper. Now currently this product is on low inventory, which means that it probably won't be available for long, but we're going to squeeze in one more video tutorial using that product. And then you can see that I have cut a tailor-made tag die out of MELON MAMBO cardstock, adding some MELON MAMBO here, and then some thick basic white. So that's what we will use, along with a piece of 4 by 5 1/4 basic white also. And I am also using some of our adhesive sheets. So I cut this down to size about 4 by 5 1/4, maybe a little bit smaller. And then I did some things. So let me catch you up on what I did. So here you can see I've got what started out to be a 4 by 5 1/4 piece of basic white. I used the largest die from the artistic dies, and I cut out a couple of pieces. And then once I had those pieces cut out, remember they are lined with adhesive on the back because I used the adhesive sheets. I also ran it through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine using the Gingham embossing folder. So we've had some fun, and now we're going to add this piece right on to our HUES of Happiness DSP. This is a really cool look now because we are able to see that designer series paper peek through. So I'm just peeling off the adhesive sheets off the back, and then what you get is a sticky piece underneath. And I want these edges to line up with the designer series paper. Even this tiny piece here, we'll make sure that is adhered down. Actually, I don't know if that adhesive sheet came off of that piece. Well, we'll have to adhere it down without hopefully ripping it off. We'll get it back into place. And then this piece here, because I cut that off, it's a little bit like you have to use the corners of the DSP as your guide. Okay, so now we're going to take these two pieces that we cut out of here in the first place, and you can see that it removes a lot of the centers of those flowers, and it just leaves the detail. So we can peel this back and then put these back into place. Typically what happens when you peel that off is most of the centers pop out again. I'm not even going to worry about the ones that didn't. I'll just leave them right in there. And then I'm just going to layer this right back where it came from. Isn't that cool? I love that look because now we can see the color from the designer series paper behind. So we'll do the same thing down here in the corner. Then we're going to adhere that piece onto our piece of MELON MAMBO cardstock. And we're just leaving a teeny little border just to give it a pop of color that coordinates with our DSP down here in this corner. Then we're going to add that to our thick basic white card base that measures 4 1/4 by 11. And now we're going to add the tag. So for the tag, I'm going to use the stamp set, artistically inked, And I am planning on stamping the Best Wishes in VERSAMARK ink and then adding some white embossing. But this tag looks a little bit big. So I am going to bring the die that I used back in and my mini boss. And I am just going to line up my die again, but a little bit deeper, or a little bit shallower, I guess, into the tag. And then we'll bring my plates in. And you can kind of, because of the stitching around the die, you can kind of feel that it is in place in other, you know, the die is fitting into those stitches. So then we're going to run that through. And what you're going to find is now we have simply shortened our tag. I love how we can adjust things to fit our needs. All right, so then the Best Wishes will go on with VERSAMARK ink. I'm just going to hold it down for a second to get that ink transferred. And then we'll grab some white embossing powder. And then we'll just heat set that and see just how cute it's going to be. And then we'll finish it off with a piece of white glittered ribbon, glittered organdy ribbon. And we'll just put a short piece through the whole of that shortened tag. Bring the ends together and then use some of our white baker's twine to tie it in a bow. We'll add that to our card with some Stampin' Dimensionals. And we can trim those ends down just a little bit also, just to kind of clean that up and get it out of the way. And then we have our amazing Glossy Dots assortment that coordinates with the Hues of Happiness Suite. And I have just a few here. And look, Melon Mambo, perfect. So I'm going to grab those. Let me get some more tacky stuff in there. All right, now should work better. One of each size should work nicely. Beautiful card made with just the dies and the paper, I think makes a really striking look. I just think it's fun to see something else you can do with these dies, don't you? Especially using and featuring that beautiful designer series paper. Can't wait to share another project with you soon. Make sure to click subscribe so that you don't miss a single video.